Namaskar. Good evening, friends. Welcome to this online yoga session. We are resuming this session after some time. So, Embassy of India, Ethiopia welcomes you all on this in this session. This session is basically meant for the beginners initially, and then we'll start and carry on the difficult postures for advanced versions, advanced yoga sessions. But in the beginning, let us know the concept of yoga, the benefits of yoga, and the utility in the day to day life. As you all know, friends, this life is very fast these days, and we are naturally incurring the stress and tension in our work to day-to-day works. So those stress they are unavoidable, but you can maintain, you can manage the stress with the help of yoga. So yoga is an ancient Indian technique developed over thousands of years ago and systematized by sage Patanjali, and which is in front of us. Yoga not only provides us a physical fitness, but it gives a mental peace, mental happiness, and satisfaction and contentment also. And also, we have the feeling of spiritual growth in our life. So, what it envisages, so far as physical part is concerned, it has asanas, pranayama, and so far as the mental aspects are concerned, it has meditation, and beyond that, we reach the stage of samadhi. Sage Patanjali has propounded this Ashtanga Yoga, which has 8 limbs of yoga: yam, niyam, asan, pranayam, pratyahar, dharana, dhyana, samadhi. So, we start with the third aspect, that is asana, that is postures. The first two aspects of limbs of Ashtanga Yoga are yam and niyam. Yam is the social discipline, and niyam is the personal discipline. So yam is the social restraints, and niyam are the norms to be followed in our personal life, for like aste, satya, ahimsa, brahmacharya, ishwara aparigraha. These are the yam. Niyam are the source, santosh, tap, swadhyay, ishwar, pranidhana. So we'll discuss those aspects: social life, personal life, behaviors and norms. But today we will take up the before asanas. There is a provision of doing sukshma vyayam, that is micro exercises. But since it is already evening, so all of you are already warmed up, so there is no need of, but you should know what are the sukshma vyayam, means micro exercises. So to understand the various concepts, various aspects of micro exercises, please sit in cross-legged condition like this, or you can sit in ha Ardha Padmasana. This is half lotus posture, and you can sit in full lotus posture like this, Purna Padmasana, and keep your spine straight, erect, and index finger and thumb together, wrist resting on the knees in Jnana Mudra. Spine, neck, and head straight, eyes gently closed. Inhale deeply and start humming 3 times. open your eyes. Sit comfortably in Sukhasana like this. And we start micro exercises of all the joints. So kindly stretch your arms forward and bend your finger from first joint, second joint, make the fist open. Again, bend the finger from first joint, second joint, make the fist open. Now with the right hand, keep the fingers of left hand spread. Okay. Now pull the fingers of left hand inward. This is very good exercise for those working on the computer for hours together. Their wrist, fingers, they are getting nervous numbness sometimes. Now push the hand inward. Come back. Now with the left hand, pull the fingers of right hand inward. Push your hand inward. Come back. Now clasp the fists together, housing the last two. We have got three channels here in the fist. Last two channels will be housed each other, and slowly stretch and spread the arms forward without opening the fists like this. Feel the impact on your forearm, elbow, shoulders, and full arm. Come back. Now again stretch your arms, make the fist and rotate the fist outwardly, slowly and inwardly. So these are the exercises for the fingers and wrist. Now shoulders. And of course the elbows also. For elbows, stretch the arms forward and slowly, tightly bring the palms to your shoulders. Again, stretch slowly, stretching, spreading like this. These are for elbows. Now for shoulders, place the finger jointly on the shoulders and combine the elbows. Inhale and raise the shoulders, raise the elbows up like this. And while exhaling, go back and down. Inhaling forward and up, up. Exhaling back and down. I am showing you only 2 repetitions. Now reverse. Inhaling, go back and up. Exhaling forward and down. Inhaling back and up. Exhaling forward and down. There is another movement of shoulders. You can keep the hands on the shoulder, on the waist. Inhaling, raise the shoulders up like a tortoise, and exhaling, go back and down. Inhaling forward and up, exhaling back and down. Now reverse movement. Inhaling back and up, exhaling forward and down. Inhaling back and up, exhaling forward and down. So after this shoulders, we have got an important neck joint. A word of caution for those suffering from cervical spondylitis: they should not bend their head forward. That's the only precaution they have to take. And we have got 2 segments of neck exercises. One is flexibility exercise, movement left, right, up, down, rotation, and the second one is strengthening exercises. So kindly, first is neck joint. flexibility exercise. Inhaling, raise your chin up. Exhaling, chin down. Inhaling, chin up. Exhaling, chin down. Inhaling, come to normal. Now inhale and exhaling, turn your head towards the right. Stay there for a few moments. Exhaling, come to center. Inhaling, exhaling, come bend towards the left. Inhaling, come to center. You can have 3-4 rotations like this. Now tilting the head left and right. Hold your head with the right hand and pull the head toward the right side. Stay there for a few moments. Feel the impact on your neck joint. Leave it. Now hold the head with the left hand. Pull the head toward the left side. Come back. Now rotation of the head. Inhale and exhaling head down. Rotate the head clockwise. Anti-clockwise. Come back. These were the neck joint flexibility exercises. Now we will do neck muscles strengthening exercises. Place your grip on your forehead and push your head forward. Come back. Now place your grip behind the head. Push your head backward and stop the head with the grip. Feel the vibrations in your neck muscles. Come back. Now with the right hand, place the head toward the right side and push the head toward the right side. Come back. Place the left hand on left side and push your head toward the left side. Come back. Now place your hands below the jaw. Push your jaw upward. Come back. Place your fist below the chin, and between the chin and the neck pit. Push your chin downward. Come back. These neck exercises are very important. They have to be done with a caution and care. If you are having some problems, it can be cured with bare basic restraints, that is forward bending to be not to be done, and they have to do the strengthening and flexibility exercises as well. Now we will start knees and ankle exercises. Sit like this. First we have got toe fingers joints. Okay, place the hands beside the buttocks and keep the body straight, chest back straight, and bend the fingers, toes downward, and pull the toes inward. Again, push the toes downward, pull the toes inward. This is only toe finger joints exercises. Now ankles exercise. Now push the forefeet downward. Feel the impact on your ankles, knees, calf muscles, thigh muscles. Come back. Now pull the forefeet inward in such a way that your heels are lifted slightly. This is very good exercise for curing the knee joint pain. Come back. This is to be done 2-3 times. Now bend your forefoot towards the right side, left side. This is also to be done 3-4 times. Now rotation of the forefoot clockwise, anti-clockwise. Come back. Now we have got an important joint, knee joint. Bend your right leg, hold the right thigh and lift it. Now rotate the forefoot, front leg. 1, 2, 3. Now reverse. 1, 2, 3. Now stretch your leg upward and pull the toes inward. Push the heel outward. Push the knee downward. Feel the impact on your knee joint, calf muscles and hamstrings. Slowly, slowly come back. Hold your left leg and rotate the leg clockwise. 1, 2, 3. Reverse. 1, 2, 3. Now stretch your leg upward, forward and pull the toes inward. Push the heel outward. Feel the impact on your leg muscles, calf muscles, hamstring, knee joint and ankle joint. Come back. This is very good exercise for knee joint pain, ankle joint pain. Now we will practice butterfly exercise. As we have to sit in Padmasana, we have to practice lotus posture. But before that, we have to do butterfly exercise. Combine your soles, grip the toes and place the heels near to the perineum region like this and push your knees up and down. Feel the impact on your hip joint, thigh root joint. Come back. Now before doing this Padmasana, there is another exercise. Place your leg in Dandasana. Okay. And bend your left leg like this. Hold your leg like this. Hold your leg, ankle like this and knee like this and grasp this leg and move it left, right, parallel. Yes, it will give you flexibility in your hip joint. It will facilitate to perform lotus posture. Come back. Gradually you will develop flexibility. Now another leg. Hold it like this, like a child and move it left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. Now another one. Place your leg here. Okay. And move this knee up and up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. And another leg also. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Now slowly, slowly you will be able to do the lotus posture. First is Sukhasana. This is Sukhasana. Let's sitting in cross-legged condition. I think everybody can sit in this. And with this, we can start half lotus posture like this. One leg sitting in this. Take your left leg and put it on the right thigh like this. This is half lotus posture. Initially, you kindly restrict up to this level, and slowly, with the practice, we will be able to perform the full lotus posture also. Now, another posture which is important is Vajrasana. Vajrasana, how it is to be done? Again, sit in Dandasana. This is Dandasana, staff pose, and bend your right leg and place your feet below the buttock, below the right buttock, and bend your left leg and place your foot below the left buttock, and knees, heels should be apart. Sit in between the space between the heels, and toes are touching to each other. Okay, this is called Vajrasana, thunderbolt posture. But initially, if you are having lot of stiffness, you are feeling pain in the ankle and knees, then what you should do? You should take cushion in the beginning like this. If you are feeling pain, then take the cushion, place the cushion below the ankles like this. Okay, if you are able to, if you are comfortable, then it's fine. But again, if you are feeling pain in the knees, then take another cushion and place it below the buttocks like this. Now it is quite easy and comfortable. You can start with this, because yoga asana means sthir sukham asanam. Asan is that which give you stability and happiness. You should not feel pain. You should feel pain, but tolerable one, but not acute. And don't exceed your limits. Listen to your body signals, and perform and practice accordingly. Okay. So this is Vajrasana, and now we will practice Mandukasana. Mandukasana is important to cure the diabetes, because our pancreas gets massaged, and insulin regulation is maintained with that. So kindly place your fists at your navel point, and inhale, exhaling, bend forward, round your spine. But a word of caution for those having backache, they should not round their spine. Slowly, slowly come back. I will show the method for Mandukasana for those having diabetes as well as backache. Okay, how they should do? Again, like this, sitting like this, placing the hands fist on the navel point, and keeping the spine straight, bend forward like this. And those having backache or even neckache, cervical, they should not bend forward. They should keep the neck and back straight. Slowly, slowly come back. So today, this is a sequence for sitting postures. Now we will do some standing posture. Stand up, please. We will do warrior posture. Spread your legs comfortably 3 to 4 feet apart and turn your right foot in right direction, left foot inside 45 degree. Spread your arms 40, horizontal to the ground and turn your head toward the right side and bend toward the bend your right knee and bend down. This is Veerbhadrasana 2, warrior posture 2nd. Breathe normally, slowly. Go up and turn your left foot in right angle, the right foot 45 degree inside. Again look toward the left side and bend your left knee downward. Stay there with normal breathing. Maintain balance. Slowly. Come back. This asana is very good for the thigh muscles, hip joint muscles, and of course the full body nervous strengthening. Now we will lie down on the chest for in prone condition for Bhujangasana. Place your hands near the chest and raise your elbows up. Place your forehead down on the ground. Inhale and first raise your head up. Neck is fully stretched upward. Then after that, raise your chest upward. Keep your eyes closed. Breathe normally. Slowly. First, bring your chest down. And after that, head down. And relax in Sitalasana. Right side. Breathe normally. Right leg and right hand straight. Left hand and left leg bent. Right side of the body, chest is on the ground. Now alert for Shalabhasana. Place your palms below the thighs like this. Those who are having backache, they should not do with the both legs. They should raise one leg at a time like this. Raise your right leg up. Breathe normally. Slowly down. Raise your left leg up. This is Shalabhasana, means locust posture with half locust posture, Ardha Shalabhasana. Slowly down. Now, those who are not having backache, they can do with the full locust posture. Raise your both legs up. Raise it comfortably, conveniently, and hold it with normal breathing. Slowly down. Relax in Sitalasana. Left side. Left leg and left hand straight down. Right hand, right leg bent. Breathe normally. Normalize your breath. Now come on your back. We are going to do some supine postures. First of all, we lie down in Shavasana. Okay? Legs 1.5 feet apart, hands 6 inches apart from body, palms up facing roof, head straight, eyes gently closed, full body is relaxed. It is called Shavasana, corpse posture. After each asana in lying down condition, in supine posture, we do Shavasana in between for relaxation. Now alert yourself for Uttan Padasana. Combine your legs, place your palms near to the thighs and inhale. A word of caution for those having backache, they should not do with the both legs. Others can do with the both legs. Inhale and raise the legs 30 degrees above the surface. Raise further 60 degrees above the surface. And when we raise up to 90 degrees, it becomes halasana, ardha halasana, like this. So Uttan Padasana and ardha halasana in the one sequence itself. And slowly down, halting at 60 degree, 30 degree, 15 degree, and down. Relax. Now we relax in Savasana. Today we will do quick relaxing exercise. In this, while we are in Savasana, we tighten our body from the toes to the top of the head and tighten completely, and immediately we release. So when I say, kindly follow my instructions accordingly. Lie down in Savasana, tighten your toes, tighten your ankles, tighten your feet, tighten your calf muscles, tighten your knees, tighten your thighs, tighten your abdomen, tighten your fist, make the fist, tighten your forearm, tighten your upper arm, tighten your shoulder, tighten your chest, tighten your neck, tighten your facial muscles, tighten your head, tighten your full body, tighten, 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 and release. Now you feel complete relaxation. Keeping the eyes closed, just feel relaxation on each part of the body, starting from the feet to the head. Now give a fine stretch in Tadasana like this. Stretch your arms and legs in opposite direction. Stretch, breathe normally, release. Now turn to left side and get up. So this is the physical part of the asanas. Now we are going to do breathing exercises. Today we will learn how to do full yogic breathing, and then we will advance in further pranayams, because the deep breathing is the basis of pranayama. Friends, as you know, when we inhale and retain and exhale, there are three processes in breathing. Okay, this is called purak, means inhalation. Retention means called holding of the breath is called kumbhaka, and rechak is exhalation, expiration. Okay, and our lungs have got expansion capacity of lateral, horizontal, and vertical. Okay, but in normal breathing we have only shallow breathing. We do not do deep breathing. The resulting the lower portion of the lungs remain inactive mostly. So in yoga, we learn how to do deep breathing. So that our lungs get full expansion horizontally, laterally, and vertically. Okay. So sit in any comfortable posture, Sukhasana or this is Siddhasana. Okay. And to test whether our lungs, whether they are expanding vertically, horizontally, and laterally, place both hands, one hand on the chest, another hand on the belly. Okay. Now, first, without expanding the chest, inhale deeply. You will feel that your abdomen is bulging out. Exhale, come back. Abdomen is coming inside. This is called belly breathing. Means this is called abdominal breathing. Okay. Now, again, you test the belly breathing first. Okay, 4-5 rounds. Inhale, belly out. Exhale, belly in. Don't expand the chest. Just inhale deeply. Inhale, belly expanded. Exhale, belly contracted. Inhale, belly expanded. Exhale, belly contracted. Okay. This is called belly breathing. Okay. Now keep the both hands in the same condition. Now the chest breathing only, exclusively chest breathing. Okay. It's called thoracic breathing. Without now you when you inhale, you raise your chest forward. Okay. Inhale, expand the chest. Exhale, in contract the chest. Inhale, expand the chest. Inhale, exhale, contract the chest. This is called thoracic breathing. It means only chest breathing. Now, how will we know the vertical breathing? It means shoulders, when shoulders are raised, there means upper portion of the lungs that gets activated, and we expand that upper portion. How will we test that? Place your right hand on the left shoulder. Okay. Now inhale without expanding the belly and expanding the chest. Just expand the shoulders and raise the shoulders up. Inhale, down, exhale. You will feel that your shoulder is raised upward. This is called vertical expansion of the upper part of the lungs. Inhale, exhale. You can test with other side also. Put the left hand on the right shoulder. Inhale, raise the shoulder. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Now, combining all these three types of breathings, belly breathing, chest breathing, and shoulders, and this clavicular breathing, the combination of these three is called full yogic breathing. Okay. So, how will we do? Let us practice. Let us have few breaths in deep breathing. Sit in Gyan Mudra. Inhale first, belly breathing. Attempt belly breathing. Inhale, belly out, and in continuity raise your chest out, chest forward, and in continuity raise your shoulders up, and exhale, contracting the shoulders, chest, and abdomen. And now again, inhale deeply. First belly breathing, followed by chest breathing, followed by clavicular breathing. Exhale completely. So friends, this is the concept of deep breathing. In normal breathing, we have intake of 500 ml of air, whereas in deep breathing, by expanding the chest, expanding the lungs laterally, horizontally and vertically, we can inhale up to 10 times of the normal breathing. That means up to 5000 ml of air. So more the deep breathing, more calm and cool is the mind. When you feel some confusion, some short-temperedness or some sort of anxiety, stress, then you start deep breathing and you will feel that your mind is totally cool and calm. And deep breathing also helps in controlling the hypertension also. And if you have any sort of a sleeplessness problem like insomnia, then you can before going to the bed, you can have deep breathings sitting on the bed, and you will find you will have the tendency to sleep deep sleep. Okay, but there is a condition that when you go to the bed, don't keep all the electronic gadgets away, mobile and other things also. There should be darkness in the bedroom, and there should be, you can have a soothing music, meditation music also, and you can have deep breathing, and you will find that you will get good sound sleep. Okay. Now, friends, this is today we have learnt some micro exercises, Sukshmayam, asanas in sitting, standing, and lying down conditions, and basic of pranayama, that is deep breathing. Tomorrow we will continue with the Kapalbhati, which is one of the 6 purificatory methods, and Anulom Vilom pranayama, alternate nostril breathing. So today kindly sit in Gyan Mudra and inhale deeply. Let us conclude with the humming. Inhale deeply and start humming 3 times. With the folded hands, pray to the Almighty for our health, happiness, peace, and contentment in our life. Let our yoga be a part of life. It's a healthy way of life. Hope you enjoyed this session. If you have got any suggestions, please do write to us on pic.addisababa@me.gov.in. We'll be happy to hear to them, and we'll modify the programs. So our program is basically starting with for the beginners. Anybody, if he or she is having some medical conditions, then they should consult the physician or the any yoga expert. But with general precautions we are telling with for each asana and each breathing exercise. Kindly do follow this, and also take care of their good diet. Eat nutritious diet, eat right, eat healthy, and stay healthy and stay fit. So see you tomorrow evening at the same time. Till then, stay fit, stay blessed. Namaste